this is going to be a fun tutorial here. I've got the outline done in permanent ink so that it doesn't smear when I add water to it, add paint to it. And I'm just going to use some rainbow colors for the stripes and then add some colors for the background. So super simple. So I'm going to start with using some red here at the top, then add yellow, then green, then blue, and then purple here at the bottom, and just let it let it blend on paper. I've got my paints here. I've got scarlet red, but it doesn't really matter what you use. I'm going to do a couple at a time. Then the yellow. And I've got some phthalo green here. Some phthalo blue. Some of the color is running up there to the red. That's okay. I'm just going to take this brush, dry brush, and just kind of tell it to go back. Let me put some more red up here. And then now some purple. And then all the way down here is the purple. I went outside the lines a bit, but that's okay. We're just going to expand the line. Again, starting with the red. The yellow. Phthalo green, which is a very aggressive color. It likes to travel. That's okay. We will use a dry brush. This brush has been wiped to take as much water away as possible. Kind of scoot it back down. And then phthalo blue. Phthalo blue mixes so beautifully with the phthalo green. Such a gorgeous color. And then the purple. A little dash of water there. Got a little bit too much paint on my brush, so I'm just dabbing it onto a washcloth here. got a puddle of purple here, so I'm just going to clean it up with the dry brush. Oh, that's just so pretty. I just really love it. So, so pretty. Okay, now I'm going to work on the ones over here on the face. I'm going to use, I'll put my hand right in the wet paint. I'm going to use purple for these darker stripes over here. I'm just using the phthalo blue. I'm just picking colors. I just want it to be a little bit darker up here because this area of a zebra is a little bit darker. Going back to my purple. If it blends with that blue, that's okay. Then coming back to my red and pink. Doing what I did over here, but in these smaller areas. A lot, big puddle on these, so I'm just going to clean it up. Now the green. And the blue. And lastly, purple. Pick up some of this green because it's really traveling. The dry brush, just go over it, kind of send it back. It doesn't really matter what colors you use here. It's just a fun zebra. That was blue, and I'm going to finish it with some purple. See how that green really travels. Come on, but I want some yellow in there. Got a puddle, dry brush, clean it up. Get that green out of the way. This is looking so pretty. I'm using a lot of purple up here and blue. Let's see these ears over here. It's kind of hard to tell what is what. It's very abstract-ish. I'm going to let that dry before I add anything else to that ear. And here is the other ear. Okay, that green's getting out of control, so I'm just going to clean it up there. And let that dry before I can finish that ear as well. Now for this part. I'm going to use all purple here because it would be dark. It actually would be black because zebras are black and white. You could do this with just black and white, using Payne's Gray neutral tint or mix your own black. That looks really kind of cool. Got a puddle here, just clean it up. And let's see, let's add some color in there. I just mixed my Scarlet Lake with my yellow to get kind of orangey here. Kind of looks like wearing lipstick, but that's okay. It looks kind of cool. Okay, this needs to dry so that I can finish the ears. So let it dry. Okay, it's dry. Now I can work around the ears. Use a dry brush. Oh, that's really kind of cool looking. Now, with pretty concentrated purple, it's pretty dark. I'm just going to emphasize some of the marks over here. That would be darker. Lift some of that green up that spilled over there. Going to add a little bit more purple here just at the bottom, because this would be in the shadow area. So it would be darker. Now I've got the paint there. I'm going to rinse my brush out and dab it a little and just kind of tickle that edge. Let it kind of have a very soft transition. Tickle that edge. Give it plenty of room to travel. I'll take a damp brush and kind of bring it back. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the phthalo blue there in the middle, just because it looked a little washed out. So just add a little. You don't have to do this at all. Just check yours out, see what you think. And if you need to add more color to make it a little bit more vibrant where you want it, just add more, as long as it is dry underneath. Make sure this is going to blend with the purple. The purple's still wet. Now I'm going to soften the edges. Now I want to add more green. It just made it look so much more vibrant. So I guess I'm just doing a second layer of this color, of all the colors. Oh, it's just so pretty. Now I'm going to come with some yellow because the yellow got a little bit washed out on most of these. Now I'm going to redo these over here to make it brighter. It's whatever colors you used. If you want it brighter, then go over with the second layer. Okay, for this, the mane, I guess that's what it's called, I'm just going to make it a little bit darker on one side. The eye would be really dark. It's going to be the darkest area in the whole painting. Okay, I like this. That's really kind of cool. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on some of these areas here that are not touching anything. I cannot do this area because this is still wet all in here. Can't do this because that's wet. I could do this, and these couple things under here. So what colors are we going to use? I'm going to use all the colors that we used. There's our Scarlet Lake, lemon yellow, this is just going to be a very, very bright painting. Happy zebra. I was just so bright and happy. trying to decide what color to do. I'm going to go back to my yellow. Got a lot of purple here, and yellow is opposite color of purple on the color wheel. So I'm going to put it close to it. Okay, everything else needs to be dry before I can do that and that. So let it dry. Okay, it's dry. And I turned it upside down so I could work on that piece here. And that color is going to be green. Phthalo green. And I have decided here at the last minute, I want this to be black. I think it'll make the zebra's head really stand out. A lot of contrast there. I think it just needs to be black. Okay, for the black, you could use Payne's Gray, neutral tint, mix up your own black. I like using the Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star Waterproof India ink. It's a matte color. It dries completely matte. It's not shiny. And I just take a brush. And I have a brush that I dedicate to ink because ink is really hard. So I've rinsed out the bristles and I'm just tapping it dry. I don't want to bring too much water. I've got a little tiny bit of paint right here, or ink right here, that I put in a little bottle cap. And then I go from there. I need to turn this around. And clean up my edges if I've made any mistakes there. Oh yeah, that black is, I think it was a good choice. I really love adding a dark background in paintings. It just, in my opinion, it just makes it pop. And this will dry waterproof. Oh, I really like that. When it dries, it'll be matte, so you won't see the sheen. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. Let's see if I can clean up this little section right here. Okay, let it dry. Okay, it's dry. Love the black against that. It really makes it pop. And these little lines over here, these little stripes, I think I'm going to color in, I think this one, maybe two of them. I just got a black marker here. I already washed my ink brush, so I'm just going to use a marker. I think the lines by themselves are just too distracting. And just adding stripes again. I think, oops, I went over. That's okay, I just changed my outline. I think this is going to be the only one I do, because I don't want to draw too much attention away. I'm debating on whether to do that other one. I kind of want to. But it might... Okay, I'm just going to do it. I never know when to stop. Well, actually I do. I stop when I know I've done too much and I wished I could go back. But I think this will work. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, I'm going to walk away for a while and come back and see if it's done. I bet it is. Okay, put a mat around it. I'm calling it done. This would look so awesome with the black mat, but I don't have a black mat this size. It would just really, really pop. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see your colorful zebras, or do it black and white. It doesn't matter. It'll just be very striking however you do it. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I really appreciate it that you're giving my content a chance. Thank you.